Second speaker, Parama Pujya Swami Paramatmananda Saraswati ji, Secretary General of Hindu Dharma, Acharya Sabha. He is a great scholar, and every year he is organizing the big international conferences, seminar and symposium. Pujya Swami Paramatmananda Saraswati is a senior disciple of Parama Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Swami Paramatmananda is founder, Acharya of the Arsa Vidya Mandir. Swamiji has both a deep understanding of Shastras, holy books, and of the modern life with a subtle appreciation of contemporary, individual, social, cultural, and political problem, along with profound knowledge of the Vedanta. Pujya Swamiji has deep sense of concern for society, which gets reflected in his work. So Swamiji will present. His theme is a relevance of the Vedic culture in the modern era. So I am very happy to present our dearest Swamiji in front of you, dear Swamiji, respected Swamiji.
Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vansharushibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitah Pragnanaganah Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Om Shanti 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 Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitayena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om. Param Pujya Shankaracharya ji, Vasudevanand ji, and Vishweshwaran ji and all Acharyas, my pranam. Adaraniya Ashok ji, Swami Brahmadev ji, distinguished speakers, delegates. I would like to speak in English since most of you are from the foreign countries. And in between I'll add few Hindi words here and there. The topic given to is the relevance of Vedic culture in the modern era. The Vedic culture has evolved with the universality of the truth and the vision contained in the Vedas. Can you take this from me? And that vision of the Veda is communicated to every generation through unbroken tradition of teacher-student, Guru-Shishya Parampara, what we call as Vedanta. And this vision of the Vedas permeates through all the constituents of Hindu culture or Indian culture. Every form of the culture, I can very confidently and convincingly tell this, every form of the Hindu culture has a basis in this truth, universal truth and universal vision of the Vedas. When I talk of the constituents, I mean beginning from art, dance, music, how we dress, what we eat and what we not eat, how we greet. Even in this Namaste, there is a Vedic vision. How we dress, in this dressing also there is a Vedic vision. When we take bath, there is also a Vedic vision. When we build house, Hindus building house, there is a Vedic vision. In marriage, there is a Vedic vision. In beginning to have progeny, there is also a Vedic vision, Garbhadana Samskara onwards. Every relationship, whether it is governance or intrapersonal relationship, nothing is away from the vision of the Vedas. It permeates each and every aspect of Hindu culture, Vedic culture. Now, let us look at it to what extent it is relevant in the so-called modern era. In fact, every era is a modern era, if you look at that way. 19th century was modern era with reference to 18th century. And 18th century was modern era with reference to 17th century. But now of late, let me define the modern era, and let me add this, in this modern era, there is modern universal culture also. Because of this interconnectivity through digital technology, what is this modern culture? The times have been changing, especially if you just look at the world history, for last 200 years, there is lot of flux going on in the whole creation. With the invent of mechanics, the capacity to produce more with machines, which started in the 18th century onwards, this is an era of high productivity. And in course of time, the new parameter has come that you should produce maximum in least amount of time. Time and productivity has inversely proportional relationship. And the new culture has evolved that if you produce something, then only you are contributing. Then only your existence is fruitful. I still remember, way back 8-10 years ago, Bharat Sarkar ने census निकाला था, 10-12 साल पहले. They started the counting, what the population. A school teacher came in the ashram to fill up the form, and she insisted the head should be there to give me all the details. I said, fine. Ask me my name. Ask me how many members are there in ashram. And the third question and the fourth was quite interesting. In the third question, she asked me, what is your annual income? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. He said, how can you say don't know? Approximately you should tell 500,000, 1 million, how much? I said, I can't say. Bhaiya jara, please. Om. I said, I can't say. I never charge. Maximum I charge is my transport. I never ask. Bhagavan gives and we survive. Then he says, how can you maintain this such a huge institution and so much of travel? I said, Bhagavan is maintaining. I said, you write whatever income you want to write. Then she ticked out something, 1 million plus. That was fine. The second question she says, what is your occupation? I said, I am a Swami. No, but what is your occupation? He says, so then she asked me, which category should I put you in? Then I said, let me know the categories. There was businessman and professional and government and semi-government and all. I said, I am neither a professional, nor a government, nor semi-government. Maximum you can say, I am a teacher. Which institution has employed? I said, my institution only has employed me. What is your salary? I said, I don't have salary. Then I told her, you tick me wherever you want to tick me. तो मैंने बोला आप तय कर लो हमको कहाँ रखना है. उसने एक जगह पे लाइन मारी. She ticked me. Just out of sheer curiosity, I asked her, in which category have you placed me? I was shocked to hear she placed me in the last category, and the category read as non-productive. I said India needs that. If you don't contribute to GDP, you are non-productive. This is modern culture. We are looking at, let us look at the relevance. What is modern culture? That we are creating a society in which the success is measured from industrial parameters. How can you use the yardstick of industrial parameters in personal life, in social life? But still they say, and that is why we have, this is my word, we have this modern culture, culture of becoming. Everybody wants to become somebody. You know why? There is always a feeling that I am nobody. From within. Nobody wants to spell it out, but want to become somebody. And that somebody-ness comes through certain possession. The car that I have, the house that I have, the car that I have, the position that I have. This is modern culture. Again, it has some basis in certain type of thinking also. In the morning, very rightly somebody mentioned, yesterday also Dr. Swami mentioned, when you talk of religion, I feel a seeker should question this basic thing. Before committing himself or herself to given religion, how does this particular religion looks at me as an individual? What is it that at the end I want to achieve by committing to this religion? Why am I here and what is the goal? The beauty of the Vedic culture or the Vedic vision is, among many, why we call Vedas as Sanatana, eternal, because human being, every human heart, whatever the generation or the era of time may be or will come in future, has only one goal, that we call it as moksha. Again, Veda doesn't promise something hereafter. There is a thinking that you will gain something hereafter. No. Let me define what Vedas mean by moksha. In a simple words, every human being wants to become happy at all the times, at all the places. As a child, I wanted the toys to become happy. As a teenage, I wanted the friends to become happy. As a young man, I wanted a career and a degree and some vehicle and something, whatever, some cosmetics and blah, 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 to become happy. And a human heart wants to marry to become happy. Somehow, expectations go wrong. That is okay. That is also there. It doesn't turn out that way. But nobody looks for a spouse to become unhappy. Why marriage? Even the divorce is to become happy. Having got the divorce, they say, ha, abhi chhut gaya. I am happy. The goal is to become happy. Progeny is also for happiness. Position is also for happiness. That total happiness is called moksha. And that is to be achieved right now and here. This is the only Vedas tell about this. No one else. Only Vedic vision has that. You are happy. Chadananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. Right now and here. They don't promise something hereafter. And if it is to be achieved hereafter, then what for this world is, there is one kind of thinking. What kind of thinking? That world is meant for our consumption. And it has been created for me. And another beauty of Vedic vision, listen this. Be clear about it. We don't say it is meant for the consumption of the man. It is only the Vedas. Only Vedas tell this. We need to understand what Vedas mean by God. Our God is not somebody sitting up above watching you with CCTV cameras. And a God who is a punisher all the time, ready for the hunter, like a dictator. No. Though he is sitting there, but we are the only one who say God is right in front of you. The creation is non-separate from the God. The God alone manifests as the whole creation. And that Veda says, therefore, nothing is secular in Hindu's vision. Every pursuit is divine. Everything is divine. Hindu's life is full of divinity. Even this namaskara is divine. If he is sitting up above and everything is meant for me, I can eat anything that crawls and flies and jumps. I can destroy the whole ecology. That since it is divine, please those, oh Mitra, please, I am getting disturbed here. Everything is not being divine. It is secular, meant for my pleasure, meant for my comfort. For Hindu or Vedic pursuit, every pursuit is divine. Pursuit for wealth is also divine, Lakshmi Arthe. Nowhere you will find this. I said Namaskara is Vedic. Every Hindu you meet in India, when they do Namaskara, they will chant the name of God. Sri Ram, Jai Sri Gurudev, Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Sri Krishna, something they will say. That is my namaskara unto the Lord that is residing in your heart. Sarvasya chaham vriddhi sannivishtaha. And that fellow gives me the same namaskara. It is same Rama in my heart as well as your heart. Though these two hands are different, in fact, no hand fingerprints are same. They are totally different. But then basic principle, Satta Spurti Pradata, what gives strength to this hand? What gives strength to this hand? What gives consciency to this hand? Or the whole body is sentient, which is no more different than this table. Once that consciousness principle being gone, that principle is Lord pervading everywhere. That only Hindu will tell. Vedic culture tells Lord is everywhere. And that is why Hindu society worships mountain. That is why Hindu society worships river. That is why Hindu society worships cows and buffaloes and snakes and rat. You name it, it is worshipful because it is an expression of God. There is a divinity in our life, day-to-day life. And I feel that divinity is missing. And because of that divinity, there is an attitude. Yesterday, Dr. Swami very beautifully said, there is a whole culture as a respect, whole culture as a value for renunciation, tyaga, not aggrandizing. The modern culture we have created, I'm sorry to use these words, but culture of looters. Everybody wants to loot at the cost of others. A human society can grow only if there is a society of givers. We are basically consumer from day one. I have to convert myself from consumer into contributor. That is why we have yajnas, panchasunaha grahastaha. Every day grahasti is supposed to perform yajnas. Every Hindu is supposed to do certain naimittika nitya karmas as told in the Vedas. That is to convert consumer into a contributor. And that is why Hindu culture is a lone culture. The basis of the culture is duty, not right. We are not right-based culture. Modern cultures are right-based culture. I am not against it. In the name of human freedom, in the name of fundamental rights, we have created a culture of rights. And when there is a culture of right, duty has to be imposed. And when there is a culture of duty, right gets fulfilled. Automatic. A duty of a son is the right of the father, and duty of the father is the right of son. This because of the right culture, my rights, and there is only right talking, there will be only fights, okay? So you see those fights in personal life also. I shall not do that. Start. You are coming into my space. We Hindus never knew what is my space. सब जॉइंट फैमिली था एक चाहे 3 रूम का कमरा और 23 लोग रहते हो एक बाथरूम में सब चलता था अभी किसी के वहाँ जाते हैं तो बाथरूम जाने के पहले पूछना पड़ता है कैन आई यूज दिस अरे भाई उसमें यूज करने के लिए तो संग्रह करने के लिए थोड़ी रखा है दिस इज मॉडर्न कल्चर व्हेन यू हैव कल्चर ऑफ राइट्स ओनली we are creating a society full of litigations. A human civilization is of litigation civilization. And last but not least, I will give you some 5 minutes back, okay? Not take the time. I'll return you there sometime. You see, we are born with certain basic needs. There is a need, there is hunger. There is a thirst. There is a need to have some oxygen. The creation, the Lord has provided those things in the creation. What a beautiful creator. In his kitchen, items are available for every creature. A la carte, such a huge one. A mosquito also gets his share, you know. And lion also gets the share. But human mind is, they say in the Vedas, human being is the best creation of the Lord because you and I are blessed with extra faculty called mind and intellect, emotive faculty and cognitive faculty. That is unique. Things have changed. Technology has helped us to win over the limitations posed by the nature. There was a gravitational law, relatively we won over, we can fly. So many, almost concept of distance is slowly and slowly collapsing. Back in India, they do talk in terms of kilometers and miles. But if you go to West and ask how far it is, they will say 1 hour drive and 2 hour drive. Distances are measured in terms of time. This United States of America, which was just 500 years ago, nobody knew about it. It is just 14 hours away. You can go on weekend and come back. Had there been those Concorde flights, you can have breakfast in London and ready for another breakfast in New York. That was available. But things have changed. But certain things have not changed. I have been listening and hearing so many PowerPoint presentations talking of the same kind of emotions. The sorrow, the stress, the despair, the frustration, the joy, all our forefathers felt and we are also feeling. That does not change. It is not that because of the modern world you have stress. Even those days also there was enough stress. It is not that it's because of this modern technology you have sorrows and despair. They also have had their sorrows and despair. Why they? Even Sita ji had her own frustrations and despair. You read Ramayana, she laments being there in Lanka. It is always there. The culture should provide an infrastructure wherein a human being can deal with his or her emotional problems. I am master of my mind. What modern management guys call this EQ. EQ is mean capacity to hold and manage my own emotions that Vedic culture teaches us. That's a unique one. Those emotions, even our gods are shown to be going through such emotions. Our Shastra never says this is wrong, you should not have it. Krishna never said, Rama never said. On the contrary, they expressed, they exhibited those emotions. Because when you say this is bad, you talk this binary two thing, that means you are creating a guilt. It is natural to have anger. It is natural to have jealousy. It is natural to have frustration. What they say is, grow out of them. To have is natural, but to express them at your will is not natural. That is what Vedic culture teaches. And to learn how to manage my emotions. That is Vedic culture through the lifestyle of duty and lifestyle of these Varnashram dharmas. We were taught to manage emotions. Our Shastras validates these emotions. Even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Shaknoti yahi vayassodum praksharira vimokshanat कामक्रोधोद्भवम वेगम संयुक्तस्य सुखी नरः यहाँ आवेगम सोढुम शक्नोति न तो रहितो भवति सहस्थित प्रज्ञ एव प्रजहाति दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्न मनः सुखेषु विगत स्पृहा वीत राग भय क्रोधः. That wisdom releases you totally from it. But as an individual, I learn to manage my emotions. And if I live a Vedic life, since there was a discussion in few previous sessions, let me add this. The word Aryan in Shastra is never used for a clan or a caste. Every Hindu is Aryan. Aryan is a one who is committed to duty. Anarya Justama Swargyam. Aryam doesn't mean Dravidians. Yudhishthira says in Mahabharata, I am an Arya. Rama has been told nth number of times by Sita, He Arya Putra smaraye natu shiksha, etc., etc. The duty committed individual is Hindu, and we need to create a society which is committed to duty and a society which knows how to manage one's own emotions. That is relevance of Vedic culture today. And last but not the least, in spite of all this material growth, yesterday Dr. Swami rightly said there should be holistic growth. Just because of increasing this GDP, by enhancing and comfort. Now India में भी आजकल विकास की बहुत बात चलती है. आर्थिक विकास से सिर्फ विकास नहीं होता है, आदमी का विकास इधर से होना चाहिए. और जब तक ये नहीं होता तो वो कुछ नहीं है. If आर्थिक सिर्फ विकास से विकास हो जाता है तो भैया रावण का विकास सबसे ज्यादा था. The technology has created heaven today, but you can see this in spite of all possessions, in spite of all luxury, the sense of insecurity, sense of being not secure, even in job and personal level. Whatever may be the position, the fellow may be CEO or he may be just a daily wages basis, the sense of insecurity is same. There is lots and lots of confusion about the goals to be achieved, and somehow every human being is subject to one's own unending demand. Our Shastra, Veda very clearly tells the fundamental problem doesn't lie in the world outside. The problem lies in you, the person. Somehow there is one's own non-acceptance of oneself. Somehow, I find that I am not okay. Somehow, in spite of having everything, there is a feeling of being not at home with myself. There is not at homeness. There is always a wanting person. There is always a demanding person. There is always a person who is not comfortable with himself or herself. That wanting I, in our Shastric language, is called as Jiva. And Shastra says that Jiva is Shiva. You are absolutely Purnaha. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanne vatmana tushta sthita pragnastadochyate. That discovering the fullness, that is myself, that is relevance of Vedic vision through all ages. There cannot think of this humanity without the solution to this fundamental problem of non-accepting oneself. And that is our Vedantic teaching, Upanishadic teaching. Modern society needs more of Vedic culture in order to enjoy the fruits of modern technology, in order to enjoy this new modern infrastructure which is almost like heaven on the earth. They have to be relatively a composed person, a person who is with himself or herself, person who is comfortable with himself or herself, and a person having certain values. Vedic culture talks of Maryada. In the name of freedom, we are creating, there is a society, there is a very thin line of demarcation between freedom and license. Swatantrata और स्वच्छंदता में बहुत पतली रेखा है. आज स्वतंत्रता के नाम पे स्वच्छंदता वाली समाज हमने खड़ा कर दिया है. जहाँ मर्यादा नहीं है वो समाज सुखी नहीं होता है. हिंदू धर्म, वैदिक धर्म कल्चर टॉक्स ऑफ मर्यादा, एंड मर्यादा का दूसरा नाम है धर्म. शरीर माध्यम खलु धर्म साधनम. यहाँ तक कि अर्थ और काम के पुरुषार्थ के मूल में भी धर्म होना चाहिए. व्यास जी tells this at the end of Mahabharata. ऊर्ध्वभाव प्रवक्ष्यामि धर्माद अर्थश्च कामश्च. Dharma should be basis in the society, and humanity can be happy provided they understand Dharma, provided there is divinity in the society, day-to-day life, provided there is sanctity of human life, provided there is Ishvara in our life. I hope all of us put together can do the job. I thank very much, in particular, Brahmadevji to connect me to such a great institution, and Raja Ram for doing this endeavor. And I promise that we, on behalf of my board member, Swami Sri Vishweshwaranji and Nirmalananji, and our, of course, Govindev Giriji, as the secretary, I promise, we are with you. Hindu Acharyas are with you. And thank you very much. Namaste. Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.